afternoon, everyone, and welcome to all of you that are here present, and to all of you who are listening online, a very special welcome. But also a very special welcome to our spirit friends who are patiently waiting to join with us this afternoon. I would like to introduce our medium for this afternoon, Anne Mason. If you'd like to join with us, Anne.
Thank you.
And it's a great honour to know that I'm able to chair for you today. So as we commence this service, could we have your opening blessing, please, Anne?
Thank you.
It will be followed by the Lord's Prayer.
Thank you. Anyway, good afternoon to everyone in the church and to those who are sitting behind their computers, whether they're watching it this afternoon or any other time. Anyway, would you like to just close your eyes and allow us just to open with the opening prayer. Divine Spirit of truth, love and light, we ask you to bring us today the beauty and wisdom of your divine world, so that those who have passed and are now in spirit may draw close to us. We ask too that you inspire those who are here to hear their message, to open their minds, so that those who come today may receive both the light, the love, and the comfort that the messages from their loved ones, now in spirit, may bring. Thank you.
We'd now like to say the Lord's Prayer all together, please. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And I'd like now to ask you for your reading, which will be followed by your talk.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Right, anyway, I would like to read two pieces because they reflect very much what happened to me 10 years ago when I lost a loved one. My husband passed away 1st of August 2010, and those who have lost someone, I feel these two little readings, and they're from my journal when I was going through all this, and I think they're very apt when people have a loss, whatever it may be. So this one, my late husband was called Rick, and this was written 10 months after I had lost him. Dear Rick, it's now just 10 months since you left the physical world. As I sit in the garden, it feels empty without you. I remember in my mind's eye you pottering around. I don't feed the birds as well as you do. I feel a bit empty inside without you. I don't think I realized how much you affected me, especially when you passed away. I'm not really sure how much I've moved on. I don't think much. I may have sorted a lot of Australian stuff, but personally, inside, I don't think so. I never in my wildest dreams imagined that you would leave this earth plane so early. I sort of come to terms with it, but I'm in a world of my own too much. Sometimes I rather stay here, cozy within myself. I wish some of the ventures would get off the ground, like more tours. Then I would feel more settled and ready to start new ones. To give me passion in life. I am finding it difficult to go to John's to work. I think it's because I'm getting bored and I feel I would like to do something new. Accounting is very boring and you don't interact with people that much. My stomach feels a bit hollow at the moment. I think it's that longing for you. I wish I could see you in my mind's eye, clearly, or even in the physical. I like it when you come close to me. That's when I feel comfort. I would like to hear you speak to me clearly. I might run here and there to different groups, talking to people, but I'm not really happy. It fills in the gap for the moment, but it doesn't consume me like when you were living on the earth plane. I remember when I used to come home so excited when your grey car was in the driveway. I would give anything to have you back. I know I can't, but only wish it. I know you, in your practical way, would like me to meet someone, but I'm just not ready yet. It's like I seem better and that I have a sense of purpose, which at the moment I don't. I know you're with me, but as I ask many times, I would love to see you, your darling wife, who loves you heaps. You are in my heart always, love, Anne. Now I wrote that in 2:11, and in 2015 I started to actually get back more into my spiritual side, and I've always had that. And one night I got woken up by my husband, and this is the 25th of August 2015, and he called it Seeing It from the Other Side. So this is what he told me, and I wrote down. That day I left thinking my day was just a normal day, not realizing when I left in the car I would never see you physically again. Yes, things are hard for us too. As I transcended into the spirit world, seeing you there in tears of sadness. I came close to you to comfort you, but initially you couldn't sense me, but I was there by your side, giving love and comfort to you. I felt tears of sadness, feeling lost as to what to do. I was there for you. I saw you build your life again and felt the joy when you took another step back into happiness. I know we will meet again, and our love will always be strong. Yes, I'm in the spirit world, but I am part of your life, now and always. Love never dies. It burns brightly forevermore. Rick.
Thank you, Anne. There must be a reason today why I am stood here next to you, cheering for you, for I have two husbands in spirit. So now we come to the healing part of our service, where we can all blend in and be apart together. It's all about absent healing, self-healing, and dedication to others, including the animal kingdom. So if you could just sit quiet and comfortably, just to breathe in very gently. Have in your mind that you are walking through a forest. The breeze is gently blowing, the trees are swaying, the birds are singing just for you. The warmth of the sun rays are coming through the trees, and each tree has a message for you. Find your tree. What has it to say? Listen from deep within its roots. Look at its branches. Maybe it's a new project. And each leaf that falls is letting go of stress, troubles, and any fears that you have. New beginnings are blowing on the breeze. For just you, as you hear this music playing for a little time. So my friends, enjoy this little quiet time. it's your time for your mediumship. Thank you.
Right, just before I get into the mediumship, I would just like to say, when you do lose somebody who's been part of your life, whether it's long or short, it's understanding that wherever you are at that moment of time, it's okay. Because often when you lose them, people expect you to miraculously get better in a month, 2 months, that you're back on the treadmill. And as you saw, it was 10 months and I was still feeling out of control within myself. But over time, I came back and I started to build my life. And I think the biggest thing that I had to take, the biggest leap of faith, was the fact to start another relationship. Because you get this conflict within yourself that, am I doing the right thing? Am I loving somebody less? And that is very hard to take on board initially. But gradually I began to see that I was still young. Not as young as some people, but I was still young. And Rick had passed away at 54. And I knew in a way that his personality, he would not like me to kind of shut shop and stay within. And that's why that message came. He was pleased I had started to move out. And it wasn't until 2017 I met my current husband now, Adrian, and we actually got married this year. In February, we managed just to get it in. But it's an interesting one. I'd always held his ashes. And an interesting thing was, I never knew where to put them. And he was Australian, and I thought, where can I put them? Because it wasn't any good putting it in the garden, because I knew I wouldn't stay there forever. And one time in a meditation, he came to me and he said, you know I love Dartmoor, and there's a stone circle on Dartmoor, and he said, I would like Adrian and you to scatter them there. And that we did last year in September. We did a little ritual by the stone circle and we scattered his ashes. And to me, that was confirmation that he was giving his sign of approval. And that is where it's hard in relationships. Do I have another one? Do I, you have to follow your heart. But they want you to live. They want you to be your old self. They want you to live life and enjoy life. I've heard since that it's hard for the spirit world when they see you closed down for always, because you are not honoring them, because they say you have a spirit and you are here for that reason. So as I said, I think it's important when you lose somebody to allow yourself to have passion again and to be out into the world and do the things you want to do, because that's what they want, the spirit world, and especially your loved ones, whether it's a mother, a father, whether it's a husband, a wife, or even a child. They want you to live your life, because that's what you came down for, and that's what they want you to, is to be happy and be yourself, and don't get pushed into what you think you should. I just wanted to round that off because I felt it just brought a sort of an understanding. Our friends are here. This room is absolutely full of them. They don't have any social distancing issues. They're all next to us. So, yes, I just want to say, it was like he gave the sign of approval. And I'm very lucky I have somebody who supports me in my spiritual work. And that is, I feel, the spirit world and my husband, my late husband, helping me. Thank you. I'll just have a then I'll start the mediumship. I have a gentleman here, and I feel with this gentleman, he was somebody who was a person who liked to stand up. What I mean is, standing up, talking to all of you was something he enjoyed doing. So I get this gentleman was somebody who was either with his work or the community, he enjoyed being in front of people. He had a way with words. Yeah, I just feel he has a way of words and he enjoyed being with people. Can anybody place this a gentleman in spirit who would not be adverse in standing up and talking to people on a platform? Got Lawrence and the lady there. So let me just see what I'm getting. Because I'm being told that he liked to give, he gave lectures as well. Can you understand that? You both, right. You know how sometimes I get 2 for the price of 1? Okay. Because I'm being told he was a very learned man. Can you, yeah, okay, so they're diverged. Because I'm seeing with him quite a big library of books of all sorts of things. Okay. So what I'm getting with him, he's extremely interested in philosophy and everything what's in the world. You can understand that, and you. Okay. Right. For some reason, just probably to try and break as to who I've got it totally for, he's telling me he had a spiritual bent, so he was very much into the spiritual things like we are doing here. No. And you? No. Okay, so I think it's with Lawrence, okay? So, because I'm getting with him that things have come a long way. That's what he's saying with yourself. He's just saying, because I'm getting this sense with him that he was a, he's been on platform.
He spent 20 years standing where you're standing.
Okay,
now.
that's because I was just going to say, I feel because I'm getting really hot here and I thought I ought to take my jacket off. But, because he's saying he's seen so much change. But do you know what with him? He was somebody who was so committed to what he was doing. It was almost though he lived it 24/7. And he said, perhaps that was to my detriment sometimes, because I allowed people to come in, but I never often let the reins go when I should have. Do you understand that statement? Right, thank you. So, because I'm being told, I think that might be a message for you as well, Lawrence, is balance. Because he's telling me at the back, he said you're a jack of all trades within this church. And he's saying it in the nicest way. But I even feel he was a bit like that. He could turn his hand to anything. And he was very much of the old philosophy. Do you understand that he knew Gordon Higginson, or because I get that era, he was either...
He was of that era. I don't think there was a mix.
because I think he was showing me of that era. Because he's telling me that it was different the way it wasn't the mediumship is done today. There was a lot more adherence to the circles and to the progression. And he's not saying that is totally right or totally wrong. He said there has to be growth to open up. But he said now you're opening it up into a new way, which is actually good for many people. What else is he saying? He said, I am with you. If you just come across a new book or something right, he's nodding his head. It's a bit hard for those.
Sorry, yes, I have.
Yeah, because he said, I put that book in your pathway.
Yeah.
Because there's some really interesting things in it.
Yes.
About life. Now, he hasn't given me the title, so, you know, I'm not sure what it is, but he's telling me there is very interesting facts in there, and he says to me, right, thank you, he's got a bit of sense of humour too, hasn't he? Because he says, please take note.
I am.
Right, so, but he sends his love, and he's really happy with what you're doing with the church in these circumstances. So that's really, really fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. It must be one of these days I get quite different energy, and at the moment I seem to have the male energy around me. So I have another gentleman here, and I get the feeling with him, and I always wonder sometimes with mediums whether you get a similar energy to yourself when you're actually demonstrating, but I'm not really 100% sure. But this gentleman is a really strong character. He's somebody who would never let anybody down. Now, I also feel that he was either in the forces or he was somebody who was like either Masonic Lodge or something like that. But he was somebody who, again, may have been on committees and everything like that. Can anybody place this this gentleman? Right, let me get a bit more information. Okay, can anybody place anybody who was actually in the forces? Okay, so we've got quite a few. So I get this sense that it was somebody who was in the RAF. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's very broad. Now he's showing me, I know the RAF is planes, but I get that he played a significant part linked to planes. Does this lady's too? So I've got down a bit more. Okay, so I get with this gentleman, I even get the sense he may have flew planes. He did, no. I think that he's determined whoever you've got round you to come through. Okay, because he's telling me, yeah, he used to fly the planes. Again, I feel, do you understand that he's a very strong character? He had very strong principles. And sometimes it was, right, a very black and white man, if I may say so, at times. He had fixed ideas about how things should be done. But he was also fair. There was a fairness in him. He would always hear each side of the story. Do you understand that?
Yeah, he's somebody that I didn't see very often. He's my husband's father.
Okay. But I really do feel there was something special about him, because he did care. I mean, everybody cares for people, but when he was in the forces, it was like the comradeship between his fellow flyers and everything was so important, and he instilled that in your husband, that it's about that comradeship, being together. Do you understand that?
Yeah, he went high up.
Yeah. He's also showing me, right, thank you. Do you understand that at home at the moment, you've done some reorganizing? Because I sense you do, thank you. Because he said it's as though you're reorganizing the house for something, because I keep seeing things have been moved around. And right, do you understand that also somebody's come across a book that he may have, right, diaries that he may have actually written, or some significant or some other family member?
Yes.
You do, right, thank you. Because he said those diaries show quite, what I can say, what's he saying? Okay, he's telling me that they give an insight, a really good insight how things were then, and they're really interesting to be read, but also for later generations. Do you understand that?
Yes, it's his brother was in the Merchant Navy.
Right, thank you, because I did get the feeling of Merchant Navy, but apparently this is what he's saying. He's saying sometimes our young people don't know really what happened before. And can you place that somebody's either thinking of bringing these diaries together to make them into that the family can share what's in them?
I think quite a few people in the family have read them.
Yeah, because he just says that's very important. I get also with what he's telling me, there's a bit of change happening around yourself as well, as apart from moving things around the house. Do you understand?
Yes.
And it's almost as though, right, thank you. He's telling me that though there's change, you need to keep some things a bit like you used to do it, rather than, you know, when we do change totally, we throw everything out with the bathwater. He said, value what's going on around you. He's not giving me any big detail about it, but he says, have a look and see what's important to change, where you need to go, and then, you know, move forward. But do keep some of the things that are important to you. Does this make sense?
Well, we've been sorting the house out and chucking stuff out and rearranging.
So I think this is what he's wanting to say is, look what you're throwing out, because there may be something of importance which is related to him. But I do feel he's saying, you know, enjoy change, you know, even though you may feel, oh, sorting all the house and doing different things, because I have a feeling there is another change, is what he's saying, further down the line, you know, so you just have to go with it. Okay, he sends his love, and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I have a lady with me, and she's telling me that she used to work in a small shop. Now, this small shop may have been a food shop, because I'm getting that sense of what I can see in my mind's eye. She's telling me she used to work in the shop in her younger years, but this is so we can link to it. But she was a lady who really enjoyed chatting to people, and they were part of her life. She was somebody who, working in the shop, you know, right, thank you. It could even have been she could have also been doing voluntary, that's what she's just told me. Could be a voluntary shop, you know, for charity, because I keep seeing the shop with all sorts of stuff in. But she was somebody who enjoyed a good chat, and she seemed to know what was going on. She was very happy-go-lucky. Can anybody relate to a person like this? Right, let's see. She was, you?
I think it could be my mother-in-law.
Okay. Okay, let me get me some more information. Okay, so I get the feeling she enjoyed mixing with people, okay? And she was quite a bubbly character, you understand? She was very sort of happy-go-lucky in a way. She didn't let things worry her. She just got on with it and did it. Do you understand that for some reason, whether it's her husband or somebody, because I'm seeing stamps, did she collect stamps either for a charity or something? Because she's showing me stamps. As though, you know, when you used to cut the stamps.
Her brother-in-law used to.
Okay, so I think she's trying to give me something which is distinguished for the family. Because I just keep seeing all these cutting off, and the jar was sort of piling up with them, you know, because in those days you sent things by mail. Anyway, she's saying to me, she was really happy lady.
She was.
And everybody enjoyed coming round to her house, and at times, you know, you'd have sing-songs round there, and like the old days. I just remember. She's telling me, can you understand that she had like a front room where where she seemed to gather everyone together? It was, because I can see there was ornaments. She had lots of ornaments all the way around. And did she have, can you understand that she had, you know, the 3 ducks she used to have on the wall, or something like that? 3 ducks.
She did, yeah.
She did. Oh, I'm glad she did, because she's showing me. She said, you know, you don't see ducks so much now, but she's showing me these 3 ducks on the line. Yeah, because she's showing me. And she said, those days, you know, everybody just enjoyed being together, and it was very much family. Family. And she said, I know yourself at times misses that coming together with family, because I'm not talking about our current situation. She's talking to me that family doesn't come together so much, even before we had all this issues. All right, thank you. She said there may be a bright side in a way. You've got to look for the silver lining, that through this people will reconnect with family a lot better, because they realize, she's telling me, being on your own isn't good. Can you understand that? Because she's also showing me a dog, so I'm not, since she had a dog, I'm no good on breeds, so it's a dog, and I feel it's a small dog, you know, running around. I feel that dog, I think she had several dogs in her life, but this one she's showing me is in her latter years, which was a companion to her, okay? Because she's telling me that her sight wasn't always as good as it used to be towards the end. Can you understand that? Because she's telling me I missed, because I also get books with her, their books were important, and she said I missed reading, because I feel the radio was important with her. because her radio she used to hear quite a bit. So she said it was my companion. And she's telling me that on, you know, you used to get afternoon play. She used to love listening to the afternoon play on the radio. Do you understand this? Right, because I think I just feel she's such a lovely lady to know, you know, that, and a very strong-willed person. And that's why she did the charity and work at the shop. She said that again. But she's telling me, remember to bring passion back into your life. Because she said she herself, towards the end, or, you know, her latter life, did slip back a bit. You know, she wasn't herself. And she said, I understand it's so easy to do. And I know myself, because when I read, it's sometimes safe just to be by yourself and be cozy, but it does take more to move out. But she's a lovely lady, a lovely, lovely lady. So she sends her love, and yeah, she sends her love.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, I have a lady here, and she's actually showing me that she used to like painting. When I mean painting, I mean painting a picture, not painting the wall. So I'm being shown that she had a gift, but didn't use her gift as much as she should have, because it was like she never seemed to have time. But when she did, the pictures were really, really nice. Can anybody place that they have an artist in their family or somebody they know in the other world?
Are you talking about a woman?
Yes, a woman. Oh, the gentleman over there. So, do you understand that she was a very good artist? And that she probably didn't paint as much as she would have liked to. Because it's like life got in the way, in a way. And that's, you know, I know how that feels, because my mother was an artist, and they tend not to do as much, but this is what she is telling me. I'm being told that you have several of her paintings, and they're in pride of place. So that's what she's telling me. I'm seeing whether this is a painting she painted, or whether, you know, this is, and it might sound a bit general, but I see this painting, well, in fact I see two. It's maybe in a scene of a beach with a boat on it. Now, the boat isn't out on sea, it's upturned on the beach. Does this make any sense?
It wasn't a particular painting she did, but it certainly does make sense. Yeah.
It does, okay, because I'm being shown that. So whether, right, thank you. Do you understand with this lady, she enjoyed being by the sea. And in fact, she lived by the sea most of her life. Because I'm getting the sense, it may have not been up in this area, but it was further, you know, I get feeling it was somewhere where it's not quite so built up with the sea.
It's actually down in this area.
So why am I getting that? Let me just ask her. But she is telling me she loved being by the sea, and okay, right. Can you understand? She used to like going away down to Cornwall or down that way. So that's what she's telling me. Okay, so that makes sense now. She said she enjoyed the ruggedness of Cornwall, And she's told me that she did paint some scenes from that area, or sketches. Right, thank you. She's just changed, it said sketches. Do you understand she has sketches? Right, so I'm glad that makes sense. Because she said, when I was down there, I felt totally free. It's as though she would sit wherever she was and there wouldn't be too many around her. Right, thank you. She tells me that she would like to go down there in the off season,
Oh, yeah.
not when all the other tourists, because she said even if it was wet and windy, she felt alive. She felt alive, you know. And there was some magical, yeah, there's just a magical feeling about this lady. You could almost sense with her pictures, she's telling me, that she was connected to spirit when she painted. And you understand that, yeah. Because that's what she's telling me. And she says you have that gift too. Do you understand that?
I do. It's something I've been neglecting of late.
Yeah, because she's just telling me, she said, you've got more opportunity than when she did. And she's saying, get the paintbrushes out. She said, and start. And she says, she's laughing, you're never too old. You're never too old to paint. Because what she's telling me, when she painted, this is what she's telling me, she was free in spirit. She was free in spirit. And she said, when you paint, you will get your connection to spirit just as good as when you're meditating or doing other things. Because by doing, she's telling me, by doing your creativeness, you are actually opening up that connection. Because she says your spiritual connection is very strong. And sometimes you're wondering, what should I do with it sometimes at the moment? And but she said, do paint, and do paint from spirit, because it might not be a scene, it may be from what's within. And that's what she said is important. Paint from within. It doesn't matter what you're looking at, you paint from within. Not from the environment backwards, but from out there. So I just feel she is a beautiful lady, as all the people who have come through today are beautiful souls that are reminding us all that we all have passions, we all have things we can do, and to believe and get on it and do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anne. I think I'll ask you for your final blessing before I carry on with the notices, if that's all right with you.
Yes, that's fine, thank you.
I wasn't sure which way it was going to be, but
No, I
whichever way it
wasn't
doesn't
either.
matter.
So you wouldn't believe when you go to different churches, you're never sure what the order of service. So, I wasn't totally sure here, but I do now have to close the prayer. So, anyway, if everybody would like just to close their eyes and just allow themselves just to feel the spirit within us, within this room, and whether you're in this room or at home. Divine Spirit, thank you for being with us this afternoon and giving us words of wisdom. May each soul in this place have been touched through the address and messages. We pray that those seeking an answer receive it, and that those who need a special touch were granted that touch. Bless each of us and keep us safe until we are able to gather together again. We ask you now to send the power of your infinite wisdom and your love and your light to those in this world today who in many ways are less fortunate than ourselves. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Anne. Like I said, it's been an honour to chair for you.
Thank you.
Coming up this week are online. On Saturday morning at 9 a.m. we have a meditation, and I find that that meditation sets me up for the weekend. It's always beautiful words and so calming. Thank you, Lawrence. Saturday at 7 p.m. we have Jack Urquhart Lunglard. I think I've got that right. He's from Denmark. And Monday at 7 p.m. we have meditation. On Sunday at 3 p.m. we have our lovely Lawrence Saville. And on Wednesday at 3 p.m. we have Phyllis Rumney. So that just leaves me to say thank you for all of you for being here today, and a thank you to each and every one who have listened online, and for Pauline for her commitment to her online services. Remember when you go that you need to have social distancing. Until the next time, God bless. But I must say before you go, remember your clocks go back 1 hour on Saturday night. We cannot have you standing outside that door on Sunday afternoon an hour before you should be. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here, and thank you very much for being here too. Thank you.
Actually, we had a vote on the hour, and we decided 2020 is long enough, so we're not going to move our clock. We're not going to another hour.
I can remember once when we did go to a church too early for an hour and sat outside.